Well, that certainly isn't an ominous opening or anything. Hello everyone, Sarat here, and this week we are going to be peeking at Armello. Yeah, game came out quite a few months ago, and originally was probably one of the main driving forces behind me coming up with this little format here for the Let's Peeks. Because I really wanted to take a look at the game, but I knew it wouldn't survive a, excuse me, it wouldn't survive a, full Let's Play, because, honestly, once you've played one or two games, you're kind of, done as far as new turf to show. And honestly, you really get most of the new turf taken care of in the, introductions and all that, in the tutorials. But what we are looking at here? Let's see if I can. Burn down only. Quick, yeah, timer's on. Good. So, there is single player and multiplayer. Essentially, this is a board game, and it doesn't have a set path or anything. It's like a hex-based, big strategy game. But let's go ahead and hit the prologue here. The kingdom of Armello is one of magic and wonder, yet a dark shadow creeps across this land. Our once mighty king has been touched by the malevolence of the rot, his tyranny and madness now threatening the realm he once united. Hero, by whatever means necessary, you must become king or queen of Armello. Though beware, the game of Armello is one of chance and treachery. No game shall be the same, and often fate, and your opponents will be cruel to you. But remember, it is a daring hero who snatches victory from the jaws of defeat. And thus begins, essentially, the tutorial. Each one of these are the four main characters you saw in the introduction. We have Thane, Mercurio, Ember, and Sauna. The four main characters you saw, him with the dripping blood, him with the money on the table, her drawing her sword from her umbrella, and her, getting up with the help of her staff. So anyway, let's go through a little bit of the tutorial. I don't know if I want to go through all of the tutorial, but it will give you a taste for how the game is played. The actual game is much, much less hand-holdy than the tutorial is, for very obvious reasons, because it's a tutorial. But it will give you kind of the rundown on how the game is played and teach you the basics of what you need to know to get all four types of main victory. So it's got to build up the map. And for these tutorials, it is not a unique map. The tutorials are very much set maps, etc., etc., etc. But for this first tutorial mission, we will be Thane the Wolf. So, moon shine upon you, Thane. The elders grow restless. A dark scent taints the air. We suspect dark forces at work. We suspect the rot. A Wolf Clan knight awaits you by the gates of South Bank. He has reported evidence of Rat Clan activity. Perhaps they are behind the taint. We have sent a guide to lead you to the settlement. Though a talkative fellow, he's a seasoned explorer and will serve you well. May your blade strike true. Snowstrider, Garymane, Din Mother. So indeed, dude is going to start talking to us. This little dude right here. Hi Thane, did the Din Mother tell you about me? Did she? I know she did. I see her letter. Let's go. Yay! He's going to be kind of annoying. So Thane's turn. Your first quest is at South Bank. Journey there by traveling from tile to tile. So you get the basics of everything here. Questing to start out with. He's way too happy. We have 3 action points per turn. Try to get to South Bank in 2 turns. So let's see here. Each time you move a tile takes 1 AP. 1 of your AP here. If you move over a mountain, that'll be 2 AP. So it is very difficult for us to not get to there, even if we tried to travel straight over a mountain. But let's go around the mountains. Mountains cost 2 AP to enter, but give a defensive bonus. Yes, that is meaningless right now to everyone. It will be much less meaningless in a minute. But let's go ahead and hop up on one. And his feet already hurt after 2 movements. Granted, mountains. And you see how the light has changed. We had a turn in the daytime. Now we're having a turn at the night time. And our turn is over. We have no AP. We have no cards to play. No more dice to roll. And there are no other players involved. Not for this tutorial mission. And now it is pointing out our maximum health right there. If we lose all our health, also shown up here, we get sent back to the starting position that we started at. So let's go ahead and keep going to South Bank. Forests provide stealth at night. If you are stealth, you cannot be seen. If someone wanders into your tile, it will initiate combat and you will get a surprise strike. Works the other way around too. If you blunder into somebody's tile while they're stealth, they get an opening shot on you, essentially. Now, settlements. If you walk into one, brings it under your control. Each one you control provides an extra gold income at dawn. Yeah, gold is something we won't have to worry about, really, I don't think, for this tutorial. So, our quest. A robed figure bursts from South Bank's gates. They hold a bloody knife. A squire's in pursuit. "Thane, stop him!" she cries. So we have a choice. Whenever we get a quest, whenever we get there, it will give us a choice to make. We can either forget about letting go. It mentioned dangerous option and not dangerous option. Safe option. If you pick the dangerous option, it will run a dice check against, well, your health. Okay, it's not a dice check, it's kind of a pure RNG check. If we complete the quest, we gain +1 body and +1 prestige. Prestige being one of the primary ways you are going to win games. Your chance to succeed is listed here, 50%. So, whenever you do a quest, you will get options like this. If you just pick the safe option, you will automatically get the prestige and the body buff. But if you pick this option, you get something else. Notice that a success failure option state is listed down here too. 10% for each stat point. So we have 5 body, it's testing our body, thus 50% chance to succeed. And if we succeed the dangerous test, we gain bonus reward. If we fail, we get the penalty, as it says. Take the dangerous path and try for the squire. It's not even going to let us take the safe path. I'm pretty sure this one is coded so you always win it. And this is your chance of reward. All the success markers here. Chance of failure, bloody hearts. And it does this, and the last one that's left after it zaps all the tokens away is the one you end up with. Success or failure. So now we have a squire, which is a follower. Plus, now we will have 6 health. And 1 prestige. Doesn't mean a whole lot for us right now. Here's the squire. If only we got here sooner, the beast attacked while we waited for you and he killed my master. Misery, tragedy, whoa, how can I go on, blah blah blah. Yeah, he didn't charge much. We've got the gold, so cough up the dough to equip the squire. And now we have the little gold marker here, used to play item, follower, and trickery cards. And now we get new tabs revealed to us, specifically the inventory shelf, which says this is our party, as in followers we can get, and inventory when we get like swords, armor, candles, what have you, they will go here. For now we have 7 gold, I believe it said, so we can go ahead and play him here. We lose the 2 gold, but, you know, we gain a squire. But he wants a nap. And the other guy's feet hurt. So let's see. So, what these do, your followers, now that I can actually access them, like the Explorer follower, will give you a benefit. He cost us 1 gold to equip. Actually, he was free. But, you know. Basically, whenever we explore, more gold and magic will flow into us. Magic will show up later. We've seen gold. Squire, if we get killed in battle, the squire steps in and takes the hit for us. Very handy indeed. And that, with no AP points and really no tangible goal left, we end our turn. And it is daytime. Turns an Armello cycle from day to night. You earn gold income from your clan and settlements every dawn. So, the people we have met will give us a new quest when we finish the old one. The Darkness Abound quest rewards +1 fight, +1 prestige, and a poppet. Yeah, you'll see what a poppet is when we get there. Anyway. And there is fight. Pretty much that is how many dice you get to roll in combat. That's pretty much what fight is. And this quest will be based around that stat. We get there and we will basically get 5 good symbols and 5 bad symbols. Scan the journal recovered from road figure. His notes reveal he set up Camp North. Okay. And there's our new quest marker. And this guy has now given us inventory. We should equip them. Equip items and recruit followers by dragging them from your hand. So if you don't want to bother clicking over the inventory shelf, we happen to have 2 gold for that and 2 gold for that. And we are about to cross over a swamp, another type of tile here. But basically we get an extra sword and shield marker in combat. Doesn't mean anything yet. It will soon enough. But we are going to have to cross swamp, which means we take a hit point of damage. Almost all characters get the negative health when entering a swamp. There are cards you can get that negate that, and I believe there might even be one character in here who doesn't take damage from swamps normally. But then again, there are stone circles, ancient sites, imbued with wild power. They restore health when you walk into them, so the damage we took from the swamp negated. So let's see. Remember, this is the safer option in the quest. Completing it will still raise your fight by 1 and add a prestige. This is the dangerous option, and we have a 50% chance of succeeding. The reward is a treasure, the poppet, and a clue that we seek, at the cost of 1 health if we fail. So obviously, we want that. And we have failed. Oh well. We got slashed in the face for our trouble. He got away and took the poppet with him. Yeah, the poppet is a thing that will give you rot when you use it. I don't think just carrying the thing around will hurt you, but that gives you rot. And rot is a special condition. It is what the king is afflicted with. And it's generally not good to get it unless you can get a lot of it. But enough about that. And even though technically we used a third AP here, so now we've got to end our turn. Which means that, yeah, except we don't have the poppet. Yeah. So, combat. Us versus a King's Guard. Remember, fight each point in it grants a dice in battle. So we have 6 dice. Dice and Armello have 6 unique symbols. A sword, +1 attack. Shield, +1 defense. Suns, during the day, their attacks. During the night, their misses. Moons are the opposite. Wild count as a hit, then explode, granting a bonus dice roll. And a rot is a miss, unless you have a lot of rot and you're in a rot battle. That will be explained later. So he has 4 fight, he has 5 health, and, well, no prestige. The combatants show relative items, followers, and abilities. The Wolf Clan of India's Knight gets +1 dice when facing challenges at night, and it is nighttime. The shield grabs us a shield. The sword grabs us a sword. The squire keeps us from dying. And in battle, opponents lose a die because of their halberd. Now we roll dice, swipe. And I'm pretty sure these are... pretty sure that's programmed in as to what you're going to get. But since he attacked us and lost, he retreats back. But his friend is sitting right there. Yeah, pretty much the exact same thing we just did. Except I'm taking some damage. And since he technically won the exchange, we move out of the spot and he takes it over. However, fighting with the King's Guard, or the King, gets you what is called a bounty. When you get a bounty, the King's Guard will come after you. They will make a beeline for you if they can. Also, if you're playing multiplayer, a bounty will get you... If you kill somebody that has a bounty on their head, you gain extra prestige and such. So you want to go after the people that have bounties on their heads. Which means if you have a bounty, you need to hide. Within Armello, darkness stirs, for signs of rot have now returned. A hunted wolf forced to withdraw, as rats slink in to find out more. So that was the very, very basics tutorial. Excuse me. Throat is feeling a bit dry there. So let's look at the Rat's Tail, which will kind of teach you more about perils, card use, trickery, subtlety, that type of thing. So he's on the board already, and it's going to show this combat. Exactly as it played out last time. and Thane retreats. And now it's Mercurio's turn. Hail, Mercurio! Our ears within the royal palace hear of secret plans. Thane seems to think much of his abilities. He hunts for tools of the rot. The king has laid a trap for him. A bounty will be placed on his head. A bounty which we expect you to claim. Teach him the consequences of meddling with the rot. Then find those tools for yourself. Nat Finnet, the spy master, awaits you within Southbank. Her skills will be of use to you. Good luck. Keep your blade sharp and your tongue sharper. Remember, destroy this letter. I don't know if we destroyed it, but now we have a cat who's leading a rat around. Time is money indeed, especially for Mercurio. Remember to equip useful stuff. We have 5 gold left. Disguise is a trickery card. They contain political plays, agents, traps, ruses, things that don't directly, do damage, etc., etc., etc. Let's play disguise on ourselves to stay hidden. Let's go find the spy master. Now we have wits, a new symbol type we're going to have to deal with. Determines how many cards you can hold in your hand. This is a wits quest. Mercurio, being a rat, being a subtlety master, spy dude, has high wits, slightly lower fight than Thane. So now we have to go to the marker. If it lets us, we're not going to manage it in 2 turns. We're not going to manage it in 1 turn. So let's stay stealthed. He doesn't want to stop and rest without knowing where Thane is. Use this gold to hire Rangels. Scout around a Dun Castle. That's where he was last seen. So see, there's Dun Castle, which reveals Thane to us. The eagle flag indicates scouted tiles. Scouting reveals stealth creatures. And that's all we can do. King has 9 health. And the guards are now out to destroy Thane, who should be down to like 1 hit point now, yeah. Locked down by order of the king. Thane has played a trickery card to this settlement as a peril. Enter the tile and you'll face the challenge. Fail, you trigger the card's effect. So we draw back up and we have... Forget the peril, Thane's exposed. Let's claim the bounty. Prestige reflects your renown in the realm. We gain prestige in the kingdom by claiming the bounty on Thane's head. A few crooks will be happy to do our dirty work. Killing another hero awards you +1 prestige, normally. Claiming bounties awards you with a bonus prestige and some extra gold. So yeah, if you have a bounty, run. You can play cards to other creatures just like we did Disguise. And it says, oh look, we have the perfect thing to hurt him with. And that gives us 3 gold and 2 prestige. Also clears the bounty. Now we gotta get to the Spy Master. We need to lift the lock down, but we don't want to attack the King's Guard or we get the bounty too. Luckily we have a card called False Orders. We have 2 prestige. which means now we have a spare prestige to give orders to the King's Guard to move. And he leaves. So now we can get into South Bank where our quest is. No Spy Master. Seems like we don't have much choice here. We kind of have to do the Wits challenge. And it succeeds. And there's our Spy Master. Treasure deck is getting shuffled. Recruit the Spy Master, who gives us the ability to see other heroes' quest locations. 4 gold. This costs 3. And we know that Thane wants to go up there. Resting a while, in turn. Well, yeah. When a hero dies or turn ends, they lose a prestige and return to their clan grounds. You cannot go negative prestige, though, so if you have 0, no sense in worrying about dying. Yeah, and we can't affect him on his turn. Since we know where he is, or where he's going to be, and we have the gold to do something about it, we can put mercenaries in his path, which is going to hurt him. In his path. We will likely have to deal with encountering peril soon. Well done, that slowed him down. Yes, it did. So new turn for us means we get a new quest since we finished the last one. New body challenge. 50-50 shot. Strategist card that can get us to Sprucevale just that much faster. Yeah, and because the game runs us out of gold, we kinda need the, we kinda needed all the gold it could give us to get us 4, you know. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yep, we have to face a peril when we hit Sprucevale. So what does the peril Thane put in there? Steal an equipped item. We have a chance to avoid it. The peril rating determines the number of symbols you need to match to avoid the card's effect. The dice you will need to match are listed right here. You will roll dice against your wits. So we have 6 dice, plus a dice at night. Yeah, Rat's Clan Defendi, they get +1 dice when facing challenges at night. Also, we have the Adventurer's Kit, which means we have 8 dice to try to roll 3 symbols. And it will automatically tally. There's a shield. There's a sun. I thought there was a shield. Oh well. Unfortunately, we lost the Adventurer's Kit to Thane. Claiming extra settlements, more gold. City curfew in effect at nightfall. We can either sneak past him or just signal to the contact. Let's go ahead and try it. Either way, I believe we get... Yay, it succeeds. Either way, I'm pretty sure we get that and the prestige marker. That's great. Now that we are out of everything, and the king just exalted Thane. And that is the second tutorial. So now we've kind of gotten a handle on all the basics about combat, all the basics about everything else, and perils, etc., etc., etc. So I'm going to pause the video for me for a second so I can clear my throat, and I will be right back with the third tutorial. Okay, so time to go learn about spellcasting and politics. Lousy politics. Doesn't do anybody any good. The king is griping about traitors and spies now. New trickery perils all over the place. Let's go see what Thane's doing. Get smacked by his quest. Curio going that way. And now it is Amber, the rabbit's turn. Lady Amber, we greet you, far seeker, and wish you well on your travels. It's with a heavy heart that we bring dire news. The king has cast aside the council of the rabbit clan. We no longer have his ear, and the realm suffers for it. As a legend throughout Armello, we ask that you consolidate your prestige and regain the king's trust. We can still claim this situation, or calm this situation, before it escalates. From Florian, the master of the rabbit clan. And we are told by what is apparently a badger that we were keen to go treasure hunting, but it looks like those plans might need to go on hold. Kind of. But maybe we've got time to search a dungeon or two. It is Amber's specialty. Hero powers. Each hero has their own little special thing here. And in her case, Tomb Raider means she has a higher chance of getting rewards when she goes exploring. What's exploring? You'll learn very soon. You explore a dungeon by moving onto it. Dungeons can have dangers, rewards, and big dangers. Generally worth it if you can run across one. We build influence by seeking out treasures and followers. And now we have Spirit, which is used for, well, magic. We will see that soon enough. It measures how attuned you are to the magical energies in Armello, which we have a Spirit quest. Increasing your spirit will allow you to cast more powerful spells and increase your spell range. And our first quest is right there. A bard, a chance at treasure, and probably danger as well. He might just stay outside. That's fine. Yep. This is a spell card. It costs magic to play. Which, not listed yet, is it? Nope, there it is. It's used to play spell cards and refilled every dusk. So just like gold is refilled in the mornings, magic is refilled at night. Spirit determines range of spells. Focus magic will help you in the quest ahead. So for 3 mana, boom, our spirit goes up for a little while. And head to the Broken Lair dungeon, which is where our quest is. Quests will not always be near you. And now we have the Explore Coin Toss. Whenever you go in here, you get this coin, and it flips and spins around, like such. And we found gold. So we got 3 gold for exploring. Now, we found a bard floating asleep in a bubble of errant magic. And since this is a spirit quest, and we, boosted our spirit just a second ago, clicky. And we get the bard. +1 prestige when you escape a peril, because the bard's going to sing songs about you. For 2 gold. We have a ton of gold. But right now, the game does not want us to, do anything. Each dusk, magic is balanced to match spirit. So boom, we suddenly get our spirit's worth of magic. And those two are fighting now. Mercurio lost. He got something with prestige. Mercurio now has the highest prestige of any hero. This makes him prestige leader. Not going to say anything more about it. If you're to gain the king's ear, you'll need to gain prestige. I know a few ways you could get your name out there again. Like this, the Wolf Claw Rat Tooth. Which is all the way up there. I'm going to play that. Because we will probably run into some perils, and it would be a good idea to just get, like this one. Burn cards or roll dice to match symbols. Unfortunately, you see, I do not have, Nope, did not survive. So we get banished to a mountain. Which was not a terrible thing, really. There's a guard there I don't want to tick off. That works. If we had succeeded at that, it would have given us more prestige. Which is what we want. And this is what Prestige Leader gets to do. He has a say in which laws the king enforces. 9 times out of 10, when you are Prestige Leader, you will get to pick between 2 things that make your life really bad or even worse. And you generally just have to pick the one that makes your life less worse. You rarely get good choices. Yep, slaying heroes, completing quests, playing trickery cards, all of these will get you prestige. We have 1. We got from exploring. King orders guards to march to the nearest settlement and terrorize settlements. So now we have to go around there. Terrorized settlements lose their allegiance and don't generate any income. You remember from earlier, you capture settlements, it generates income for you every day. Every daylight turn. Rescuing terrorized settlements will restore peace and order, earning +1 prestige for the hero. On the other hand, attacking a king's guard will pretty much wipe you out of any real opportunities at prestige. And those two are going to fight. And kind of to a draw. Mercurio, dead. And now Thane should be leader. 3 core decks of Armello. It's finally getting us into the staples of cards. We can draw items, we can draw spells, or we can draw trickery. Items deck contains weapons, armor, tools, consumables. Trickery has traps, ruses, political maneuverings. It's what you use to slow and undermine your opponents. Spell deck is your source of powerful spells, offensive and defensive buffs, and curses. Wits determines the number of cards you draw up to each turn. So you know how it gave us just automatically filled out our hand earlier when we were playing with Mercurio? That's not supposed to happen. It only happens for a tutorial. And it doesn't say which one it really wants us to pick, but given the fact that, well, Spirit's not bad, but Wits is worse, let's go ahead and grab a spell. +1 action point for the hero's next 2 turns. So what we have to do is become Prestige Leader and be summoned to make the King's Declaration. So with this spell, because it would have been balanced anyway, we gave ourselves another action point. There's a peril here. Can we survive the peril? Maybe. Daytime. Clan Affinity Bunnies, rabbits here, get extra dice during days, much like Mercurio. And Thane got extra dice at nights. Did not clear the peril. And I lose 2, cards that really didn't do much for me. Kind of where I needed to go. See, I have 5 mana. There we go. Thane is like right there. So let's go ahead. Yep, we can kill him. Get ourselves an extra point of prestige. Walk up here. Circle of battle's been drawn. 2 champions are staying ready to attack. Not the best chance we have, but we'll gain that either way. And we succeed. We now have 3 prestige. Now we just have to hold on to being Prestige Leader until dawn. So see, it really was pretty much just that easy. Let's see, where could I go? Nowhere, really. Come on. Thank you. Let's see what's right there. Let's retreat back here. I will take the 1-point hit. At there. Claim it. Yes, I can. So now let's see if we can trick Mercurio into trying to come after us. There we go. Dawn of day 3. So when you are Prestige Leader, the beginning of every day, in other words every other turn, the King and Prestige Leader gain 1 health for enabling a mutual blood pact. And the King's Rotten Choir sings -1 body to everything permanently. Let's take an extra health. Which means he gets an extra health too, but you know. The rot grows stronger day by day. Wise rabbits plot to keep us free, while bears talk peace under wild tree. So now we get to learn to defend against rot and discover the different paths that actually lead to victory. Now that we've gotten all the basic core gameplay out of the way, who knows? Let's see what's going on with Sauna. A spirit stone has crystallized at Bear's Repose. And, you know, the king wants those spirit stones because, well, you'll see. King has played a peril to a stone circle. Sister Sana, I will be brief. Brief? Brief. I'm sure you sense the darkness spreading. Old magic stirs, the power of the rot. The elders agree it has returned. This corruption must be purged before it manifests. If the banes are to rise again, all may be lost. Along with... I have no idea what that animal is. Who found, the plague. This is no ordinary spell card. The spell does not cost magic. Casting it will cause you to gain rot. Time to learn all about rot. Which we have none of, and we want to keep it that way. Rot is a dark, powerful, and destructive force. It consumes living energy. When a hero gains their first point of rot, they are infected, and will suffer -1 health every dawn. Yeah, let's not use plague. And we need the wildfire staff. Which is up there. Underneath a peril. Journey to castle somewhere. I guess that counts as... okay. Let's ignore the spirit stone for now, since we have not been... That's a spirit stone. We should grab it. Keep it safe. Maybe play with it. No. Yep. Okay, basically what that's saying is if you gather enough spirit stones, you can cleanse the rot from the king. That's essentially what's going to go on with one specific victory scenario. Something bad's coming. We did what it asked, but there's also a peril here. Okay, now, as well as playing or equipping cards, we can burn cards whenever it comes to battle to collect symbols. You see the symbols here? Well, if you roll your dice, or if you don't want to bother rolling the dice, you can take each of these symbols and use it in lieu of a dice. Right there, Armello symbol that matches one of the symbols on the dice. Burning a card locks in one dice as that card's symbol. So, you burn cards by dragging and dropping them on the fire. Let's burn that. And then it wants us to roll dice. I'm assuming we get the other two for free here. We did not. Lion game. But we gained a health because daytime and spirit stone. And now Amber gets... everybody gets to pay 2 gold here. I hate taxes. Now remember that the rot costs you health every day. So the king has rot. So the king will lose a point of health every day. Every other turn, the king loses a health. He starts with 9. So the game essentially ends in 10 turns, one way or the other. So now let's go ahead and finish this. Another peril. +1 rot and +1 plague in target hand. Let's see. Let's go ahead and burn the plague. We don't have the other 2 symbols, so we're going to have to count on the dice to finish this out for us. And they do not, which means now we are going to get rot. And, dropping here, summoned a Bane, which immediately attacks us. Banes are corrupted creatures born of rot. If they kill you, they give you a rot point. But only if they kill you. Sana has a hero power, which means her spirit, instead of her fight, is used to fight rot creatures. So in other words, yeah, creatures with higher rot than their opponent will receive opponent's rot as bonus dice in battle. When 2 creatures infected with rot battle, it is called a rot battle. And the lower number gets added into the higher number, and yeah, as it's saying here. In other words, he's going to get 6 dice based on that. And we can burn cards to guarantee dice results, but there's not much here that I'm really too concerned with. So I'm just going to roll. And we take no damage, which is good, because we do not want to gain extra rot if we can avoid it. Yep, they're real. How much gold do I have? I'm going to go ahead and equip that. Yeah. So we got to keep going here. Let's go ahead and burn that. That gives us gets rid of that card at any rate. And unfortunately kills us too. So we now gain 2 points of rot. We have gained 2 points. Didn't work out well for us. Then gains another prestige point. And gained a spirit stone. And Mercurio has gained rot on purpose. So, because we are Sana, let's get back to the castle. And get some gold for our trouble. So let's see if we can grab the artifact. We do have 6 health, 6 body. And we are successful. We now have 7 body. And a wildfire staff. There we go. Took an extra turn than it should have, but, you know. 7 prestige, wow. Oh, big deal. Mercurio has given himself a bunch of rot. Hero becomes corrupted when they have 5 or more. Corrupted heroes lose a health at dawn, but +1 health every time they kill another creature in battle. Also, if they enter a stone circle when corrupted, it's kind of the insta-kill. So he will not want to go near that stone circle. That was a whole lot of nothing happening. Yeah, probably should take the Spirit Stone to the castle. So we need to get there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's take the short path. Get our hit point back, and then land in the castle. Lock the palace down, none shall enter, blah blah blah. All we will need to do is roll a tree. I know it's not a tree, but bear with me. And we got it. Good. And we failed. Death will be quick. And it gets us out of there. And bonus magic. If the king has been taken by rot. It's only said so 3 times so far. Clear now the king's days are numbered, but who's going to rule Armello? As the current prestige leader, Amber's been playing the political game. And the crickets are insane right now, apparently. If the king's rot consumes his life while Amber is the prestige leader, she gains a prestige victory and she wins the game. Thane wants a Kingslayer victory. Basically, he has to get into the palace, beat the perils, and then beat the king in one-on-one combat. If Thane defeats the king in battle without dying, he'll be named king. If he dies during the fight and the king dies as well, it defaults to the prestige leader, just as if the king had died naturally. Mercurio is trying to get his rot higher than the king. If he attacks the king with a higher rot value and slays him, Mercurio becomes a new Lord of Corruption. In other words, if you win a rot battle with the king, you win the game that way. And it is incredibly difficult to pull off. I will say that. That is probably the least likely scenario that you can imagine for actually winning. To achieve a Spirit Stone victory, you need to collect 4 Spirit Stones. With the stones, you reach the palace, confront the king, and that means you win. Yeah. From the wolf to bear, the clans declare the time has come to take the throne. For rot's creeping, it twists our king. Heroes rise, save Armello. So that is essentially Armello. That is the how to play Armello. I did not pay attention to whatever that was, but I know I've done all that before, so I'm not sure what the achievement was. But anyway, yeah, that's how you play. So, I know we've been at this for over an hour, so what I'm going to do is this. I don't plan, right now I have no plans to play any more of this for Let's Peek. However, if people have questions, if people still need some clarification on things, I do understand the game to a reasonable extent, and if you have questions on this, leave the questions down in the comments, and some point in the future after the questions have been asked, I will put together a video kind of displaying a bit, a demonstration of whatever it is you had a question about. You don't understand the Kingslayer victory? We'll kind of show you the goal to get there, basically beat the king up. Don't understand a rot victory? I doubt I would be able to actually show you that because I can't do it myself because this game does not play fair, but I would go through kind of the how-to on getting a rot victory. I know how to do it, it's just very, very difficult. Spirit Stone victory? Not something I've been able to pull off because the computer cheats. Seriously, every time I come close to pulling that off, the computer just swoops in, miraculously clears out the palace, and just slaughters the king. Kingslayer victories are actually really easy to pull off with one specific character, and each character has their own little set of things they're good with. Mercurio here, for example, whenever you claim a settlement, he steals an extra gold from whoever had it. Amber, higher chance of finding rewards, and you can see their values right here. Very low spirit, but high body and wits. Average fight. I'll say 4 is average here. Average wits and spirit, but high body and a little below average fight for Amber. Zasha. Shadow. At night, Zasha gains stealth everywhere. Doesn't need a special card for it. Average body and wits, high fight, low spirit. Thane here, Sword Master. Sword cards burned in battle give you something called Pierce, which means it just kind of goes right through the shields and stuff they put up for defense. But high fight and body, but low wits and spirit. Sauna, can't fight worth a darn, but has a really high body, high spirit, and low wits. Also, her special ability, if she's fighting a corrupted creature, her spirit gets used in place for fight. So you want to avoid fighting with her unless you're about to fight a Bane or the King or another character who's gotten corrupted. Brune here, high body, average fight, low wits and spirit. As Scarcaster, for each spell cast, you gain +1 fight until the end of your next battle or until the end of your next turn, whichever happens first. River, the Huntress, has a bow that basically whenever she walks into combat, she pulls it up and does a point of damage to whatever she's going to fight. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. And when you play, just pick characters here. So, and also you can gain a hold of some rings. I've played enough with Thane to get a hold of 2 rings here, basically. And enough with Sauna to get a hold of 2 rings here. But I've played a little bit. I haven't played a ton. I've wanted to play more, just haven't had the time. But in essence, you can get things like -1 rot if you're in a stone circle at dawn. Yeah, she can get a whole bunch of rot and cleanse herself of it with that ring. If you're in a forest at dawn, you gain +3 magic. Things like that. They all have their own little sets of rings. Gain scout on all claimed settlements, or gain stealth in settlements day and night. River's actually a really fun character if you like killing things. But yeah, for Wolf Clan, gain stealth on mountains day and night, or gain magic for every kill in battle. I think she actually does share those with Thane. And I'm pretty sure that's done by clan. So yeah, every battle you win, every game you play with Amber, I believe it counts for Barnaby here. But yeah, equipping an item in your inventory. In other words, you don't, with something I didn't get to show off there, whenever you have an inventory, if you've got a full inventory normally, and you have to put something new there, let's say you get an upgrade of sorts, normally if you put it over the, you replace something, it's just gone. With Barnaby here, the Tinkerer just pulls it back into your inventory and removes all the cost and gain and such like that. So yeah, you've already paid it once, so you can kind of swap out. It's kind of interesting to do, however, you have to keep a healthy stock of cards on hand to pull it off, and he only has 4 wits. So, it's useful to an extent if you've got a few very high specialty things you get in combat. But anyway, yeah, that's essentially Armello. If you guys still have questions about it, I am up to making just kind of a random video, middle of the week type thing at any point in time. Nothing wrong with it. But for now, I'm going to leave it like this, because this Let's Peek has gone on for over an hour. That's kind of more of an extended, uncomfortable gaze, but what you gonna do? Anyway, if you have questions, put them in the video, put in the comments down below. I'll take a look at them and see what I can do to come up with demonstrations for said questions. So anyway, take care, folks. I will see you all back again here later for whatever I choose to play next. Bye, all.